Why do you have a guitar? Are you going to play?
Just say the words and we'll beat the birds. Down to Montego Bay.
I love that.
Come fly with me. Let's fly away.
The Crisco Kid Block Party.
Hey, my guest on the show today, he sold over 40 million albums. He has got 7 Grammy Awards. Looking to add another one this January, nominated for Best Reggae Album of the Year. Welcome to the show, Shaggy!
Yeah! What up, Chris?
We bring in the energy today. It is and I'm calling this the Shaggy Christmas special because we got to celebrate two things. A, it is the holiday season, but B, you are nominated for another Grammy. You got like 6, 7, something like that. So the trophy would look good on the shelf next to your other ones here. But Come Fly With Me. Well done on that, man. Well done.
Thank you very much. We had a lot of fun doing that album, man. It for me, it was something new. And that repertoire is such a complex repertoire. For me to dive into it like that and just sink my vocal into it was a real honor.
Right. Well, for those that aren't familiar with Come Fly With Me, you basically took your Shaggy voice, the Shaggy sound, just reggae, and put it together with Frank Sinatra. We talk about timeless and just classic music. You put that together. We got Come Fly With Me nominated for Best Reggae Album at the Grammys coming up. But I guess the number one question that most people ask is, we know you and Sting have been working together for like 3, 4, 5 years, but was this because I do some crazy projects that start by drinking and then it just happens to happen. It's some of the best things that I've been able to do. How did this come together, man?
It was kind of similar to what I was doing, the drinking. We're in Norway. It was a day off that we have. We're on the 44876 tour, and we're on the fjords. And he's jumping off in the water because it's super cold, and they do that. I mean, I'm Jamaican. I'm not doing that. So while he was swimming, I was playing some Sinatra and singing to it. And he just popped his head up out the water and was like, "Bro, you sound exactly like Sinatra." I'm like, "Oh, really? Thanks." And it's like, I love Sinatra music. I was raised on it. And he was like, "Nah, bro, it's crazy how similar you guys sound. He's a bass tenor, you're a bass tenor." And then we just started to talk about what if we do it in reggae, and just, it just became a conversation, and we started to just dream about it. And then we haven't picked it up, and we didn't pick it up until the pandemic came 2 years afterwards. And he was like, I'm in Vegas with him while he was doing his residency. And I was backstage and we started singing and started playing a little bit of the chords and stuff. And then we're like, you know what are you doing top of the year? Let's do it. And I'm like, wow. And I didn't believe it until he showed up at my house in Miami. And it was like, yeah, we're going to do this. And so, I had to get a couple of musicians up, a couple of guys came up from Jamaica. I say, okay, what are you doing this week? Come up, let's do it. And by I would say about 6 songs in, I started to listen to this thing. I was like, wow, because the trick with the Sinatra records, most successful records are 2-chord songs. Sinatra is 6 and 7 chord arrangements. You know what I'm saying? And these are jazz chords compared to these reggae chords. So the trick was trying to make it so unique and make it work to where it doesn't sound too jazz and it doesn't sound too reggae. So you got to move a couple of these chords, but you got to move the right one.
Right.
That's where the ear comes in. And that's where Sting was a genius at doing that. All the vocals were taken by Sting. For me to sing those songs, there's little intricate notes that you're going to have to hear that I really couldn't hear. And he had to be on the piano playing these and say, see that you got to hit that note. And that was very, very intricate. It was a hard thing for me to do, but he sat there through the whole thing and made sure these vocals were perfect. And then when I listened them back, I was like, wow, I sound good.
It does. I mean, you ain't even got to be modest about it, man. It is what it is. It sounds good. And that's why it's nominated for Best Reggae Album.
Yeah. It was great.
I appreciate it. There's 2 things just on a personal level that I really do love the album, man. It's because, sometimes, like you mentioned, the complexity, taking the 2 different styles and putting them together. But right off the top, when you do listen to the tracks, you hear it, you're familiar, and you can know where it's kind of going. Then the beat comes in, it all blends together beautifully. But then I think it's just the nostalgia. Like, I like to go to Vegas during like this holiday season, right? And you know, sometimes we hang out in the lounges, you'll hear Frank play. And so it does give me the best of both worlds. I like reggae music, I like Frank Sinatra, you put them together, and it's just nostalgic for me as well. And I'm sure I'm not the only one that feels like that. Does it give you that memory as well, that feeling?
It does, because you got to understand, in Jamaica, that kind of music was played on Sundays in Jamaica. You know, I mean, it goes with chicken and rice and peas. Yeah, I mean, that's what's played in your home. And you know, Bing Crosby, Nat King Cole, a lot of that repertoire was just a part of people's Sunday evening. So as a kid growing up in Jamaica, you just kind of ran with that. So it was good. The difference with this now, because the reggae beat is on it, now you listen to, you never thought that you'd be able to want to light up while you're listening to Sinatra. You know, because you're not just now hearing these Sinatra songs, you're now feeling it, because there's that drum and bass that's hitting you and make you feel like, yo, I gotta light up. This is good. And come fly with me. Let's fly away.
Yep. It just takes you there, man. Takes you there. You know what? Let's get into that one right now. And by the way, I don't know if you noticed or not, but you're taking over the show for the next 2 hours. Pitbull's Globalization. We got Shaggy in the building. It's a Shaggy Christmas on the Crisco Kid Block Party. Now, I know the Christmas project you put out a couple of years ago, man. I mean, that really helped a lot of people through COVID. And I'm sure you probably got the emails. You've got the messages that were like, hey, this is kind of something that we need during this time, man. I mean, and you're still seeing some of those songs as like holiday favorites right now. What are a couple of songs that, you know, if somebody's looking for a little something different, they want to add a little something into their holiday playlist, what should they do off of your album?
Well, the thing for me about that particular album is, you know, I used to listen in my household when I was growing up. It was, of course, Bing Crosby and, you know, all of these, you know, I'm Dreaming of a White Christmas. It wasn't really the type of Christmas that I would see in Jamaica. We have no snow.
Right.
I don't have a white Christmas. My
like
Christmas in
angels,
Jamaica,
sand angels at that point.
Sand angel, exactly.
Yep.
My Christmas is on the beach. There's RumPunch, there's Eggnog, there's sorrow, you know what I mean? There's Christmas dinner, you know what I mean? And it's family. So it's a different, and then there will be these parties after parties after parties, and then we're playing reggae music and dancehall music. So I said, why don't I do some holiday records with that vibe? And that's what we did with this album. You know what I mean? The song with me and Neo is an amazing song because it feels like a party in the Christmas, right? Because that was taken from the perspective of Neo, who's always in Jamaica, who has done a couple of Christmases in Jamaica, you know, and hung with me for a couple of times. Josh Stone was kind of the same thing when she did hers, because she was always in Jamaica. She gets in that vibe also. You know, when I did songs, another great song is like Ragamuffin Christmas with Bounty Killer, you know, and Junior Reid. You'd not think Bounty Killer be doing a Christmas record, a Christmas carol, you know what I mean? Beanie Man, of course, Shensia is on and Beanie Man were on a record together. So there's a lot of the Richie Stephens collaboration is also great too. So there's a lot of songs. If you put this album in from start all the way down, it just rolls really, really nice. And it's a really good, feel-good part. Now, there are a couple of classics on there. I'll Be Home for Christmas.
Right. Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas.
Yeah, Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas is on, and Sting is on there also. There's a bunch of records that you have some classics with some original, and it's just a feel-good record during the time of Christmas.
Well, let's give them one off Christmas in the Islands right now. It's the Crisco Kid Block Party, A Shaggy Christmas. Let's go. Now, I have two in my hand. I don't know if I'm going to drink the RumPunch here, or am I going with the Eggnog? Which one do you prefer on the islands right now? Which one sets the vibe better during the season?
Well, it depends on if you're drinking eggnog that's spiked.
Well, it's got to be. You got to put a bourbon or you got to put a little whiskey in there, right?
Well, there you go. I'm the eggnog guy.
Yeah, I'm the eggnog guy.
I'm the eggnog. It's Christmas, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you got to do the eggnog.
RumPunch you could actually drink around a year.
How do you make that a little more festive? You got to throw some cinnamon in there, right?
Yeah, you put a little cinnamon there. Yeah, with pimento seeds.
Yeah. Make the island.
A lot of rum.
Yeah. A lot of rum. Shaggy's here with us. We're celebrating Come Fly With Me, nominated for a Grammy. And shout out to all the Academy people. If you're hearing this, please vote. You know what I'm saying? Give this man another one on the shelf right here. Best reggae album 2023. We got to make that happen. But I want to go back in time right quick, because you got classics, man. And some of the ones that they're still going so strong. Boombastic, yes, we know, and Angel, and you're in the TV commercials. I know in the Super Bowl last year, it wasn't me. And they're like, hey, well, I see the Cheeto stuff everywhere. How do you continually just kind of keep your songs like top of mind? I know radio stations, the throwback kind of formula is really coming back hard, but with the licensing as well, what's your genius plan behind all that?
You know what? It's really about keeping your brand visible, and just really kind of keeping yourself in the conversation. You don't have to lead the conversation, but you could certainly got to be a part of the conversation. And it's you want to be relevant, in the game of what it is and being a part of the conversation. So, and these songs are classic, timeless records, and they're a part of the soundtrack of a lot of people's lives. And, I'm happy, I can't tell you I wrote these songs because that came from a higher power, that write it. It was just written through me. Because if that's the case, we could just do them every week. Right. Every now and then when you're writing, you get these special ones. And, writing is a craft, and it's something you got to master, but there's also a feeling that goes with it, and an energy and a vibe. And you just got to be in that vibe when you get this. And everything's about timing also, Do
you ever get tired of people asking, Shaggy, was it you?
No, I think it's when they stop, then we have a problem.
That's the truth. That is the truth. Hey, what about remixes, man? I know back in the day, I'm from Houston originally, and when the Rockets won the that was so a part of that basketball season, man. It was so part of that, and y'all won the championship after that. Yes, and I remember you threw all the players in the remixes. Yeah. I mean.
Yeah.
You still do that, man? Are you down for those things? Or you have to be like a really fan of the team? How does that work?
I'm down for whatever idea is a cool idea. At the time, it was a cool idea. I did it at a radio station on a freestyle. And they just kind of ran with it, and it became a thing. And I like diving into things like that because it's just unique. As you could tell from the things that I release, I like being outside the box.
Right.
It's not the safest place to be.
Well, speaking of that, I know you're doing more Spanish. You're back in the studio doing is another Spanish project, or I saw Farruko in the studio with you. What's going on with that?
Farruko and I have been thinking about. We did a record called Sunset with him and Nicky Jam, which was a #1 record.
Yeah, big record.
A big record, and so we've always talked about doing another record. So. He's in Miami. I have a home in Miami, so we go back and forth. And so I ended up being over his studio, and he was showing me his spot and everything. And we ended up doing like 5 records that night. We, some of them we just put 2 of them we did fully, and the rest of them we just kind of put ideas and melodies down. So I don't know what record is it we're going to do, but we're doing like his idea was like, let's do a bunch of them and pick the right one. And that's kind of just where we are at it.
I love that. Always pushing the boundaries, pushing the envelope.
Yeah, but it'd be cool to do like an album like that though, with a dance.
You got an EP done already. It sounds like you already got the EP ready.
Yeah,
you gotta let it play, man. Put it out. All right, look, coming up New Year's Eve. I know you got a big party going down. Right, let's talk about that before we wrap.
Yeah, Ryan Seacrest, man. It's the dropping of the ball. That's always a big party in Times Square, and Dick Clark, the whole Dick Clark New Year's Eve special, Ryan Seacrest, Sierra, everybody's going to be there. And I was happy to be a part of it. They wanted 2 classics. We did, I think we did Boombastic and Angel. We just had an amazing time rocking with that. And it's going to be great.
That's how you close out 2022, man. Shaggy's Come Fly With Mi, a Sinatra Songbook, nominated for Best Reggae Album. We're going to find out if you win February 5th on CBS. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, man.
Pleasure, my man. Thanks.
Next time you see me with that guitar, I'll have to hit a little something.
It's okay. You're better than me on it. I can hear it.